Money. That's probably what you think about when you hear the word generosity. But generosity that multiplies is deeper than that. Jesus said, generosity multiplies. Good morning and welcome to 755 Live. Good morning, Rita. And for about 5 minutes, you'll hear all about easy to remember soundbite versions of what Jesus said. And the point is to help you experience life to the fullest, the Jesus way. Today's Jesus said comes from Luke 6:38. So we'll start there in the New Living Translation. Good morning, Teresa. Glad to see you checking in as well. Luke 6:38, give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be poured into your lap. For the measure you use will be the measure you receive. So that verse is the inspiration for the soundbite today. Generosity multiplies. But let's read a little bit of context here, because many times this verse is used without the surrounding verses. But Jesus was making a series of points here. In Luke 6:34 through 37, right before this verse, Jesus said, "And if you lend to those from whom you hope to be repaid, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners so that they may be repaid in full. But love your enemies and do good and lend, expecting nothing back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High, because He is because He is kind to ungrateful and evil people. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven." So Jesus is making these series of points, and then in verse 38, he says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." Now, unfortunately, verse 38 is used mostly to talk about money. It's used many times, and I've used it in taking an offering or asking for help for a special project. But when we talk about giving, most of the time it's all about money. But Jesus said generosity is all about the heart. In Matthew 5, verses 23 through 24, Jesus said, "So then, if you bring your gift to the altar, and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First go and be reconciled to your brother, and then come and present your gift." Jesus was saying, don't even bring an offering unless your heart is right. Why is this? Well, it goes back to the principle of creation, kind after kind. What you plant multiplies. And God can't fill a closed hand. You can't fill a container with a lid on it. Generosity is all about heart, an open heart, not about amounts. In Galatians 6:7, Paul says, "Do not be deceived. God will not be made a fool." Some translations say, "will not be mocked. For a person will reap what he sows." Now, sowing is an action. Generosity is an action. And the first step of that action is to give, is to be generous. But it's not just about money. It's also about grace, mercy, forgiveness, love. That's one reason why we use the hashtag love first, to remind us that needs to be the foundation. And whatever you sow, it multiplies. Jesus said in Luke 6:46, "Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and don't do what I tell you?" And that brings about some hard questions. Are you generous with grace, mercy, forgiveness, with love? You see, giving money won't change your heart. That's not real generosity. But a changed heart is generous in all things, even money. And whatever you are generous to multiplies. So if you generously give other people anger, resentment, condemnation, comparison, judgment, generosity will multiply, and so will everything else that you give. Are you generous with more than just your money? Jesus said, generosity multiplies. How can you put that into action today? Thank you so much for listening. If this is meaningful to you, it really does mean a lot when you like it, when you share it, when you comment. I really appreciate you. And I hope that you have an amazing day. And I hope this time together has helped you live life to the fullest, the Jesus way. And remember, follow Jesus today. Love first.